Hello, Justajolt here, and welcome to my first ever unboxing. This lovely package arrived for me today, so without further ado, let's get it open. And look at this, as well as some absolutely spectacular. All this packaging here. This is wonderful. This is some kind of a. Look at this. It's like a little scarf here of stuff. Well then. What do we have here? And there it is. Should we open the box? Let's get rid of this big one first. As fetching as this is, I think we'll remove that for now as well. And let's just get this open. There we go, the tape is off. And we should now be able to slide the contents out. So we've got someone looking very happy about possessing this and firing it. Very happy indeed. And promises up to 27 meters on the packaging. The Hyperfire, of course, has already been reviewed by several other well-known Nerfers, but hey, this could well be the first time a Brit's done this. So who knows? So, inside the box, my first ever unboxing, guys, this is exciting. We have a funky little 25 dart magazine, which is different to the old 25 dart magazines. The old ones, of course, are grey. This one is obviously orange, but you know, you've seen this before. So that's kind of funky. Let's put that there. We have a load of darts to put in said magazine. It's kind of cool. Let's open them up too. And right here we have the blaster itself, well packaged, nicely protected there by lots of carefully planned out little bits of box. Lift straight out, and here we are, the Nerf Hyperfire. First impressions, well, I don't know, it just feels a little bit more uncomfortable than normal to hold, but actually, you know what, you can get used to it. I think for the sake of the rapid fire stuff that it promises, yeah, why not? It'll work. So the next thing I think we ought to do is open it up and put some batteries in. Seems like a reasonable thing to do in an unboxing. Wow, that was a big box. Wasn't that a massive box for such a small blaster? And let's get some batteries. It's quite exciting, this, actually. Now, those of you who are familiar with my videos know that there is one thing that I love to do with blasters, and that's kind of stick IMRs in them. Oh, there's a good start. Do you know what? I went and got C-size batteries. Understandably, because of course the Rapidstrike, and I've got one just over there, I might bring it over in just a second to meet its newer companion, uses C batteries, but this one uses D. So I'm going to quickly nip and get some D batteries. And here we have some lovely D-size batteries to go in our lovely large blaster. So let's just slide them in. Can slide in quite well, as you'd expect. So there's nothing really at this point that could particularly go wrong, is there? So let's get those slid in there. Screw this back on. And pulling the rev trigger, obviously there's some kind of a lock in there. I'm just going to put the mag in now. There's the mag release. Still not firing up. Let's open that up there. Close it again. See, it could well be that because I'm such a skank, I've in fact put some batteries in which are out of date. So let's have a little look. Now that's remarkably interesting. I'm starting to wonder whether this blaster won't fire unless there are actually darts in the mag. So let's try this out and see if there are darts in the mag. Get a little bit worried now, to be honest with you. So let's put some darts in here and see what happens. Just to see what happens. And still no joy with the revving up, which is really, really disappointing, actually. Beginning to think I might have been sent a dud. Which would be completely and thoroughly gutting. I think, to be honest, after having taken the time to pre-order this, I would be thoroughly gutted if I could not get this to work. So let's try with some batteries from a Hyperfire, which I know for a fact have been working. And at this point I am thoroughly tempted to just look at the manual and see what's going on. Ah, jam door must be fully closed and locked in position for the blaster to fire. So closed, locked into position. And we have some rev up there. So guys, first lesson. I was getting really worried there, I don't know if you could tell. First lesson, always consult the manual. Always consult the manual. I'll show you in just a moment the little bit that was giving me a bit of a hard time. There we go, we'll just, wow, we'll certainly manage to dig out lots of sets of batteries. So, there's this little bit here on the jam door. That's open now, and that is closed. And that needs to be closed and locked into place in order for you to fire. Now, rather than firing them off now, the three that I've got in there, I'm going to completely load it and then fire it at the camera, just cause. So with the mag in, it does feel kind of back heavy, you know, the front kind of rises, as has been sort of described. Where to hold it? So that's where to hold it right there, that's where to hold it, I'm guessing, just there. But that's also an attachment point, so where do you comfortably hold it? Maybe there? Oh, that's an interesting one. Right, anyway, let's get firing. And I notice actually that as it's firing, we are skipping over darts. So even without any modifications, we're already skipping over darts. I do think it's firing quicker though than a stock Rapidstrike. So there we have a Hyperfire. That's kind of cool. Next thing I'm going to do is chrono test it. And there we go, so we end up with, after 50 shots, we have a high of 64, a low of 43, and an average of 54. So here are my thoughts on this blaster. I noticed that when trying to fire it in single shots, it took a little while for the belt to engage to the point where it was ready to fling a dart out, and it sometimes struggled to sort of stop and start in between trigger pulls. And so if I could just try and demonstrate this now. For whatever reason. Oh, there we go. Dart jam. There we go. So. And you see there was a little bit of delay there in between me pulling the trigger and the dart actually coming out. And you can actually hear the belt, I think, struggling to catch up. And so I don't know whether that's tension in the belt, I don't know what it is, but it takes a little while for that belt to engage, that belt that operates in there. I don't know if I can show you here, I don't know how much you know about the internal workings of this blaster, but you can see there that there's a belt just here which flings the bubble up, which flings the dart forward into the flywheels. So I'm just going to remove that one actually, which flings the dart into the flywheels. And for whatever reason it is taking like a split second for that to engage. Would probably improve with some kind of modification, such as a bit of blaster abuse in the time-honoured Justajolt manner. Yeah, I'm interested in seeing what easy, quick gains I can make. And so, for example, the Rapidstrike, I found that 3 IMRs works incredibly well. Will eventually burn the motors out, but hasn't burnt them out yet. And actually, I'm getting pretty good performance from what's pretty much a stock blaster. So the next interesting thing I thought I would do would be to make some kind of a comparison between the Rapidstrike, which this supposedly supersedes. If I just get the stock out, which I need to do to make it possible for me to kind of dual wield them, holding them both like this actually is kind of interesting. This one is notably easier to hold in stock form, probably because the weight's going to the back. And this one a little bit harder because the weight's sagging forward. If I just kind of hold the blasters loose, that's what happens. So maybe that's one thing that Hasbro are trying to do. I'm just going to do a quick firing speed comparison. Well, clearly this one's firing faster, and that's got to be the belt mechanism that's doing that. So in terms of firing speed, stock, this guy wins. Simple as that. Now I realise that there's kind of limited benefit to doing this because I'm not actually going to do this entirely scientifically. I'm just going to put a few shots from the Rapidstrike now through the Chrono, just to see how that compares to. So lower 35, average of 39. So we've got the Rapidstrike performing quite a bit lower there. I also kind of think that the Rapidstrike might be a little bit less accurate, and I'm going to try and test that in a very unscientific way. I'm just going to fire them both at the wall in the same place and see what the spread is. Okay, going to start off with the Rapidstrike. And now I'm going to go for the Hyperfire. Now that was actually really interesting. So on full auto it looks like it was more accurate than the Rapidstrike. There was a noticeable difference there though. I'm really interested as to why that is. If you've got any suggestions, please comment below. So anyway, I feel like we've learned a little bit about the Hyperfire today. It seems to discharge these quicker than it discharges these, so that's really interesting. And one more thing I'm going to do before we go is stick some IMRs in it, just because I love to abuse blasters. So basically, I can't rev this because these things here, these converters, which are meant to convert AA batteries obviously to D-size batteries, they, for whatever reason, don't allow the contacts in the battery to touch each other in the blaster, which kind of stinks.